So you've decided to leave California, but why? Well, the first time in a long time, California is losing more people. People are moving out of California faster than they're moving into, and that hasn't always been the same. So there's definitely reasons why people are leaving. In this video, we're gonna go over the top 3 reasons why people are leaving California. Stick around for the 3rd reason because it's completely different from the first 2. So let's start with reason number 1. It's the high cost of living. There's no secret that California, especially Southern California, is expensive. California used to be the land of opportunity. I guess in some ways it still is. It's known as the Golden State, but the cost of living is extremely high in California. You've got taxes which are high. The costs of goods and services are high. Gasoline is very high, and you've got probably the biggest cost is housing. The housing is really expensive. According to Zillow, let me give you an example. According to Zillow, the average house in Orange County is $985,000. 20% down, if you put 20% down to avoid the mortgage tax, you're looking at $197,000 to get into the house. So not counting the homeowner's insurance and the mortgage payment, which we're gonna get into in a second, which has a lot to do with the current mortgage rate. Your property taxes, the first year alone is gonna be $12,300. It's not cheap. So understandably so, people just can't afford to live here. And because of that, that's kind of leading into the number 2 reason why people are leaving California. Number 2 is a shortage of housing. So California has an extreme shortage of not just affordable housing, but housing in general. A recent study by the California Department of Housing estimates that California needs 1.8 million homes to be built by 2025 just to keep up with the demand. And let me tell you, we're not even close to that number. So there's definitely a shortage of housing. You hear the term a shortage of inventory a lot of times. What that means is there's just not enough homes for sale compared to the people that want to buy. And so it's causing a huge shortage of homes. And I can understand why. Let's bring up that interest rate again. A lot of people the last couple of years refinance into a low mortgage interest rate somewhere around the 3%. Now they're somewhere in the middle 6s. So understandably so, if I had a mortgage interest rate of somewhere around 3%, if I were to sell my house and move to a different state, then if I bought the house, I'd have to be dealing with somewhere around a 6.5, give or take, percent interest rate. And that's going to dramatically change what my mortgage payments are going to be. The offset for that is if you move to an area that's more affordable, that can offset the interest rate payments depending on where you move, depending on how much your house is. For example, if you move to an area that has an average price of maybe $500,000, then you can absorb some of that higher interest rate going from a 3 to a 6.5%. So that's something to think about. Also, if you had a lot of built up equity here in the house that you sell, again, you could use that to put as a down payment to buy down your rate, and just so it could definitely offset. But for some people, they're kind of prisoners of their own home because of that interest rate. Before we get into the 3rd one, let me introduce myself. My name is Ryan Banderas. I'm a local real estate broker here in Southern California. In Anaheim, I've lived in Orange County my whole life. In this channel, if you're new to this channel, we're going to talk about everything about Orange County, the pros and cons, what it's like to live, sleep, have fun. If you're thinking about moving to Orange County, we're going to have some very interesting stuff in future videos about what it's like to live here. If you're thinking about moving to a different part of Orange County, a different part of the county, a different city, we're going to go over some videos in more detail about the different areas of Orange County. If you're thinking about moving away from Orange County, kind of like the theme of this video, please stay tuned. I ask you to subscribe and like because we're going to go over a lot of that information in detail. If you have any questions, I just ask you to please email me, text me, call me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. Now, the 3rd reason, again, the first one was the high cost of living. Number 2 was the shortage of housing, affordable housing. And number 3 is the politics, the political structure, the political scene. So I've lived in Orange County my whole life, like I mentioned before. California has changed a lot. Southern California, Orange County specifically, within the last 20, 30, even more prevalent in the last maybe 10, 20 years. It used to be extremely conservative. And California, Southern California now, Orange County now, is known for progressive liberal policies and politics. And for some people, including myself, it's not a welcome change. A lot of us are feeling that our values aren't being represented in the state laws, in the state policies that are going on. We feel that our values are being threatened. And so a lot of us are just choosing to move to a more conservative state where the policies, the politics are more politically aligned for how we feel and how we choose to live our lives. And it's a growing trend. People are looking to move to somewhere where it's more conservative and they have more a sense of community. So if anything I mentioned resonate with you, I'd love to hear about it in your comments. If you have any requests for videos that you want to be made, anything more in depth that I talked about, or something else you would like to see, I'd love to hear your comments. Again, if you have any questions, please call, text, or email me. I'd love to have a conversation with you. And please like and subscribe. I really appreciate you watching. Thanks for your time. Look forward to the next video. Have a good day.